Hello brothers, my name is the Dwarf Bass, and today I am going to talk to you guys about the balance changes that went live on April 7th, 2020, and these balance changes followed Season 10, and so let's just go ahead and get into it. So there are three cards that are on these balance changes: the Magic Archer, the Goblin Hut, and the Skeleton Barrel. So all three of these are on the balance changes, and of course I threw those cards into a deck and tried to play around with it, and it's interesting. But anyways, let's go on and talk about this. So first off, I'm going to talk about the Magic Archer. So the Magic Archer is getting a shorter targeting range from 7 tiles to 6 tiles. So Supercell didn't give like an official release notes for the balance changes, which is where I get the why and how. And so I'm gonna kind of guess why they're doing this change, so bear with me. But the Magic Archer, I think the reason why they did this was because they were trying to make it, they're trying to make the Magic Archer not so threatening, because with that targeting range that he has, or that he used to have, he could sit there pretty much right on the bridge and sit there and hit a princess tower. And so they were kind of like, that doesn't need to be, because we need to be able to take that Magic Archer out, So I think it's because they wanted to be able to have towers take it out easier, buildings take it out easier, and those shorter range troops to be able to take it out easier. And so I guess the reason why also is because the Magic Archer was being very prevalent in the arena. So they kind of tried, this is what they're trying to do, to not make the Magic Archer super viable in the meta and a must-have. But anyways, let's move on. We are going to talk about the Goblin Hut next. So the Goblin Hut, its building lifetime is going to be reduced by 20%, and it's now going to spawn 3 Spear Goblins when it is destroyed. So with this change, they're basically making the Goblin Hut similar to the Tombstone and the recently balanced Barbarian Hut back in Season 8. They added to the Barbarian Hut, they added 2 Barbarians to spawn out when it was destroyed. They're doing the same thing with the Goblin Hut, but unlike the Barbarian Hut, the building lifetime for the Goblin Hut is going to be reduced by 20%, and it's not going to have a fast response speed along with that. So the goblins, there is going to be less goblins that spawn out of the Goblin Hut, but it's going to spawn 3 Spear Goblins when it is destroyed. And so I feel like it's going to be more viable for taking out troops like the Prince and the Battle Rams. So we'll just have to go along with it and see where it goes from there. But anyways, let's move on. The Skeleton Barrel. Now the Skeleton Barrel, its speed is being increased from medium to fast, and its hit points are being decreased by 15%. And so, going from medium to fast, kind of a fast-moving troop. Think of a mini P.E.K.K.A. That speed is what the Skeleton Barrel is going to be at now. So the Skeleton Barrel, whenever I was thinking about Skeleton Barrel, I would look at it and I'm like, a 3 elixir common win condition. It doesn't seem that threatening. It doesn't seem that effective. And so I would normally just kind of ignore it and just push it to the side. But with this balance, I feel like Supercell is just trying to make the Skeleton Barrel a more viable win condition by increasing its speed from medium to fast, first off. And of course, we kind of have to do a 15% hit point decrease, so it's not super overpowered and it's not going to make it to the tower every single time, but it will be able to get there much quicker than it was before. So I think that's the reasoning why they're going to do this. And so maybe that means I'll use Skeleton Barrel more often. I don't know. But anyways, so I guess I'll go ahead and state my opinion for all 3 of these. The Magic Archer. Do I agree with the Magic Archer? No, I do not agree with the Magic Archer. This is kind of like whenever the Fisherman got that shorter targeting range from 7 tiles to 6. I didn't like it, and I don't like the Magic Archer either. It kind of, like you just saw there in that last exchange, it's actually easier to activate the King Tower with the Magic Archer now. It is actually way easier to do it because he has to walk an extra tile for that, because of that shorter targeting range, and if you place a troop, at the right spot, right tile, it's going to activate that King Tower, and people are going to figure that out, and it's going to be devastating for certain people, certain decks even, and so that just makes it to where you can't throw Magic Archer into like a graveyard deck or a Goblin Barrel deck, so you can't do that anymore with this shorter targeting range. So honestly, do I agree with the Magic Archer changes? Absolutely not. The Goblin Hut. So the Goblin Hut, do I agree with it? I do agree with it. I feel like, with that building lifetime decrease, it's not going to be so overpowered that it's going to be just absolutely devastating for people. I feel like it's pretty balanced this way, with that building lifetime decreased and the spawn speed not increasing. That means that it is going to spawn less Spear Goblins, but it will spawn 3 Spear Goblins when it is destroyed. So kind of like how I said earlier, the Goblin Hut is going to be, I feel like it's going to be a little more effective in countering Prince and Ram Rider, and it's going to do that for an equal elixir trade. And I feel like it might even be able to take out Giants way better now than it used to. So do I agree with the Goblin Hut balance changes? Yes, I do. I do agree with it. Now with the Skeleton Barrel. Do I agree with it? Yes, I do agree with this because, like I said earlier, whenever I would look at win conditions and I see Skeleton Barrel, I usually just ignore it because I'm not going to throw in the Skeleton Barrel as a main win condition at least, because it's not going to do much. It's not going to do anything for me. But I felt pretty comfortable throwing the Skeleton Barrel in as a win condition for this deck because with that faster move speed, if you don't have a building to react to it, or an Ice Wizard and an Ice Spirit to slow it down, it's going to hurt you. It is going to get to that tower, and it is going to smack onto the tower, deal that damage, because it does deal drop damage when it does drop, and those skeletons are going to be on your tower, and you're not going to be able to stop them effectively if you don't have the right counters for it. So Skeleton Barrel, basically, it's becoming more viable in the game. And of course, with that, hit point decrease, I do agree with that, because we don't need the Skeleton Barrel to be overpowered, but we do need it to be viable. We do need it as a viable win condition, because we got to make our win conditions stronger cards anyway, and I feel like that's what Supercell is wanting to do with every win condition. They're just doing it kind of slowly. So I feel like this was a good time to increase the Skeleton Barrel's speed and decrease its hit points. I think people are going to end up using the Skeleton Barrel much more than they did in the past. So do I agree with these balance changes? Yes, I do. So that is pretty much it for the balance changes. And so, I hope that you guys do enjoy the balance changes. I hope you guys aren't too aggravated by it. Now, if you're a Magic Archer fan, I would totally, I totally see where you're coming in your aggravation. But anyways, I hope that you guys do enjoy the balance changes, and I hope that it does well for you and in the arena. So, I guess I can commentate a little bit. I got that tower down to 78 health with that last little Skeleton Barrel push. And so I'm going to play my Hunter here to counter the Goblin Barrel. And the Magic Archer is going to take out that Baby Dragon. And I've got another Skeleton Barrel coming, and he throws a Minion Horde. Now, this is the first time that he played that Minion Horde. If my opponent would have played that Minion Horde way earlier, I feel like this would have been a totally different ballgame. But anyways, the Hunter is going to take out that Baby Dragon along with those Spear Goblins, and pretty much it's game over right here. One Spear Goblin is going to take that tower all the way down to 0, and that's how you play this deck. So, if you guys want to try it out, of course I will have it on the video border so you guys can look at it and try it out for yourself. Now, I should request, but I'm going to shout out Fisticuffs, because if you guys want to join, we do have 7 openings. So definitely come on by and join if you want to. And we do casual war. We do we sit here and chat, and we just have a good time. So if that sounds like a good thing for you, then definitely come on by. And I want to thank Fisticuffs for all their support and giving me content and just supporting the channel in general. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to slap that like button, comment down below, tell me how your day was. I would like to, get interaction in the comments like I've been getting, and that's awesome. So keep it up, and I will try to reply to those comments when I can. Go subscribe to PewDiePie, because PewDiePie is a wonderful creator. I am the Dwarf Bass, and I will see you guys next time.